Hello.
Andrew, you mentioned earlier about breakthroughs through meditation, and I'm just wondering if you could elaborate on that, and is it when it manifests in your life outside?
I think I said if you make a big breakthrough, it lasts, the effect lasts, but if you make a little breakthrough, it doesn't last very long. Isn't that what I said? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But do you know, would you know what a breakthrough, small or large, is?
Yes, definitely. You definitely know it because, the whole world will turn upside down. You'd know it.
Okay.
If you get hit by a tidal wave, you know it, right? It's not something you don't wonder, did something happen? But you're right. So the answer was yes, you would know it. And number two, what I was referring to now was not waiting for some kind of tidal wave to hit you, but I was specifically speaking about what we've been talking about, all morning, and a little bit yesterday, which is what the posture of freedom is that we've been speaking about in relationship to meditation, and really engaging that very deliberately and conscientiously during the time of the retreat here. What I've been speaking about it. It's the bring the light of awareness to the mechanism of one's own psychological experience. I mean, it means really paying attention to what's actually happening. So you want to pay attention from a position of disengagement. When it's very hard to see anything objectively when you're very involved in it, right? Doesn't matter what it is, right? But when you're not involved, it's much more easy to be objective. If you have friends and they're a couple, they're having some problems, it's much easier if they have a third party that's not engaged to have some degree of objectivity of what's going on. I mean, that's a mundane example, but so especially in relationship to your own psychological process, if you just assume the posture of disengagement, you can have moments of very profound insight into the nature of the mechanics of your own mind and how it works, in ways that it's impossible to have as long as you're consistently involved.
But is that just theory until it's practical?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But shouldn't it be practical as well?
Well, that's definitely. You said, is it theoretical until it becomes practical? The answer is yes, so that's why I'm saying you should do it, so then it won't be just theoretical, but it'll be practical.
If something hits you so hard, it will manifest in your life.
Well, yeah, but right, yeah, that's definitely true. But I was saying, I don't want you to wait for anything to hit you. I want you just to do what I'm asking you to do, and that'll be enough. You do it. So in other words, like if we stop at around 11, between 11 and 3, when we come back together again, could you for those 4 hours, could you be really just really paying attention to what's making you tick? Just completely disengaging and standing back from your internal process, and just witnessing it all, rather than being lost in it. For example, does that make sense? Mm. Now you could do it just being very still, which might be a good way to do it now, and then eventually you could move, you wouldn't have to just be staying, but eventually you want to get to the point where you're kind of always paying attention. It's not always going to be perfect, but you want to get to the point where you're paying attention, at least 90% more than most people are, most of the time. Most people don't pay attention at all. People are lost, they're just lost in their subjective experience all the time. That's why when somebody asked the Buddha, are you a god, are you this or that, and he said, no, I'm awake. So awake means someone who's paying attention, you see? So most people don't pay attention, and they're just completely lost in their internal process. They have no idea what's going on. They're lost. They're lost in the dream. They're just lost in it. And then sometimes people will come on a retreat like this, and they'll get very inspired for a few minutes. Wow, waking up sounds great. Is that clear?